trying to play a song?
Nope.
All righty. Good morning. Week 24.
Week 24.
Yeah.
We didn't even remember what it was last time.
Yeah. Now I checked it. I checked the math. We did miss a week due to the snowpocalypse, but...
God damn it. I don't know how to set the timer on this thing.
Sunday morning Nook Talk, week 24, I think. It's the OG crew today.
It is the OG crew. Petra, we love you. You'll never see this. Snap.
Joe Mack is with his life partner right now.
How do you do this? I don't want hours. Oh, you got it? Okay. All right. We're going to go 8 minutes on this shit.
And what are we starting off with?
We're going to start with some local news.
Local news, okay.
Yeah. I think we should reverse the order. Let's leave the bad stuff for last.
Okay.
Let's go with the Gorse Bridge. There's a bunch of money coming from the state and federal government that's going to try to help the Gorse area for traffic.
Oh, so they are going to do the bridge.
No, I'm not sure if they're going to do the bridge or not.
Remember, it's been a topic for a while now.
Somebody mentioned putting up some battleships for a bridge. I thought that was the right idea.
Yeah, I was
You know, I don't like the idea, but now I do. You know, it would be a tourist attraction, but I just think it's silly. I mean...
It's not silly. You know what happens, okay? One fender bender at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Gorst leads to my street on Rogers
I know.
getting backed up. And
For an
potential
hour.
for an hour.
Woo.
Because of something that happened in
Then you go to
Gorst.
Cookies and have a beer and then drive.
Oh, fuck.
And then there's another fender bender.
No,
It's happened on Friday.
That is just a micro to what the big picture is that if there's ever a time where we need to mass evacuate, we're fucked. Because that is a bottleneck. There's nowhere else to go.
If we were serious about transportation, we'd build a bridge from Illahee to Bainbridge.
We'd build a bridge all around this fucking island.
Dude, we should build a tunnel. I've been talking about this for a long time. All the way to Seattle.
We should make ferries.
No. Oh! God, don't make me tell my fairy joke.
Please don't.
That'll get me in trouble too.
Tunnels would be cool.
No, we should have a tunnel from to Seattle under the water.
Underwater, that'd be sketchy
Yeah.
as fuck.
And
That'd be pretty gnarly. I wouldn't go.
It'd be cool if you could see underwater, though.
it's too dark.
Like go through
it's
the ocean.
murky.
It's murky. Murka.
All right. Other local news.
Miss Mai's birthday show at McLeod's last night.
How was that?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I got there, okay, so you walk in, right?
Why didn't I go there?
Because, I don't know.
You didn't meet me at the fucking drift.
I
You
came
said
down
you-
to the drift and you weren't there. The problem
was
is,
there.
you call me on Messenger when you should be calling me on my phone because I don't have data. If I don't have Wi-Fi,
I was probably at the Southpaw.
I can't get a call. I went in there, too.
Dude, I was either at the Southpaw or I was at the drift.
And then I ran into Aaron McFadden and talked to him for an hour.
Ugh.
So anyway, so you walk into McLeod's and right to the left is that little area right there. And then they have a curtain that they can put up that divides that area and the dance floor area. Well, she had all these tables laid out. She had the windows covered. The curtain was up. She had a stage elevated for the comedians. DJ, of course. And just the work that she put into putting that show together before the show was just impressive as fuck.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
And the comedians did really
Oh,
good.
I'm sorry I missed it. Well, I'll have to remember that for the next one. Speaking of great shows, your comedy competition on Thursday was outstanding.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Was that the lone judge?
No, there was 2 other judges.
Oh, okay.
And your scorecard actually didn't count.
Thanks.
I'm kidding.
How did the other judges match up with my judgment?
It was all pretty accurate and fair, and all the comedians got the same ranks. Like, for example, Brendan got 2s across the board out of 10. And then the other comedians, it was all pretty awesome.
Good. Good. That's the way to do it, I think, is that with judges don't sit next to each other, even know who they are,
Yeah,
and then you compare the scorecards. There's no collusion.
yeah.
Which
yeah.
leads us to, we got 4 more minutes on local news.
And the other 2 judges didn't even know, have never even seen any of the comedians, you know, so that's detrimental as well.
Well, the guy that won it from Seattle, what's his name?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Not much of a winner. You don't know his name.
Andrew, I think.
Well, he was spectacular.
Oh, he was great.
He came off as a fucking. It was like he was a piece of candy or something, you know, just like it was all shiny and new and you know, like a Jolly Rancher.
Oh, because we're so
Oh, he
used
was
to
just
seeing.
so polished, yeah. We're used
yeah.
to seeing hacks and shit. Everybody's just fucking getting up there like, yeah, I'm used bubble gum.
Yeah. Good stage presence, good voice fluctuation, talked into the mic.
Yeah.
You know, actually made jokes.
I didn't see that fucking one dude from Alaska perform live, but I watched that video. His set was like all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Well, you could tell he was a nervous wreck, but he did it, and I thought he did pretty good for a first timer.
I totally agree, and I did call him out on his kumquat joke though. It's like, that's a George Carlin joke. You can't use that.
And
He
yeah,
had another one too.
Etch a Sketch, and the
Oh
baby.
yeah,
Oh right.
I think I've heard that one before.
I think so too.
Yeah, Dennis Reed, Metalhead.
It was nice.
Yeah, I remember his name.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard not to. He kept like come to everybody, man. You guys are assholes, man. You guys all did good and da 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 da.
Yeah. So
He's
then,
pretty animated, that's for sure.
now there's also 2 deaths in the last 3 days in the Kitsap County jails. One of them was a mom who was thrown in jail for trying to kidnap her own kids from their custodian, wherever they were at. And then so she hung herself. And then this last guy was somebody I actually knew.
Oh no.
His name was Fam. His nickname was Fam. And that guy right there, he was a local like rapper and artist, but apparently he was just really into heroin and pimping hoes. So
Well, how did he die?
they don't know yet, but they're assuming that when he got busted, he swallowed a bunch of his heroin and OD'd.
All right, let's see. Booked in jail.
And he was did 9 years for murder back in 1999 for shooting some dude that was hanging out with his girl.
No shit.
Yeah, and then he got out and went to OC, and that's when I met him in a film class, and we became friends afterwards, and we would run into each other in town. He was a really cool dude, like really cool fucking dude. So there's a lot of people in the comments that are saying shit like, "Oh, this sucks. That guy was really cool," and then other people saying he murdered somebody.
Yeah, no shit.
He's pimping hoes.
Yeah, I totally agree with the latter.
Exactly. And it's
I
like,
mean, you can be a charming, dashing, but whatever.
soliciting human trafficking is what they
Yeah.
call it, I think, or something like that.
I agree.
So
Not a good thing.
yeah,
Not a good thing at all.
choices. All right, so that's it for local news.
No,
Oh.
not quite. I didn't mention we did the thing last Sunday for Nate.
Nate,
Fundraiser.
raise money. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun. Karaoke down there. Yeah, I think there's some potential with that kind of thing.
Karaoke
At the Drift. Yeah.
for sure. And you can there's legal issues with that, I think.
I don't care.
And you don't want to know why? Because that's punk rock, not to care.
No, and it was also snowy, so we're done with the Snowmageddon. That's good.
Yeah.
So life in Kitsap is back to normal.
They're projecting snow tomorrow.
I was
They
getting
are?
pissed off the other day because
Yeah.
it started snowing
Nice.
again and it started sticking. I was like, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't be such
Stop.
a Debbie Downer, dude.
Don't you dare.
All right, world news. We got. Let's start with Jesse.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out on bond now. He bonded out, so he's not in jail at the moment. But
So he staged his own hate crime on himself to propel his career further.
Allegedly.
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 Pretty obviously.
I think it's a bigger story, just like the MAGA hat kid with the Native American, the whole narrative behind that went back and forth, just like this one went back and forth. And I think the bigger story is the media, and that they got to be more careful than, if it bleeds, it leads. You got to be a little bit more careful about your reporting. I mean, it couldn't have been more than an hour after, not the Jesse thing, but the MAGA hat kid, that there was another video that was produced that showed the Native American guy coming up to him. So there was a bigger story there than the initial knee-jerk reaction of this arrogant little fucking guy, which I don't doubt that he is, but he definitely was reflected poorly by the media. And same with the Jesse thing. He fucking, everybody just jumped right to it that, oh, MAGA, hate everybody, kill them, Jews. And
I feel like that one's a little bit different because, like, Jesse legitimately said, these MAGA freaking people came out and said, whatever. People just took it. The media specifically edited that fucking video with the kid, just to show him, starting there to make it look like he freaking approached it, Like,
yeah.
But I do agree that people should stop being so goddamn knee-jerk because they do come with a story and everybody's like, yeah, fuck Trump and, we got your back, brother. And like,
so when everybody's worried about the Russians and the collusion, and the media buys right into it, the mainstream media, not just like fringe groups or bots on Facebook. This is CNN jumping right in with this, and the politicians, they're trying to retract their stories now too because they're all on Twitter saying
they're just constantly chomping at the bit to try to get on each other's shit.
Yeah,
like, and when the news first came out with the Jesse Smollett case, my initial reaction was, "Damn, I cannot believe that is still going on." Like, that's it. That was my only reaction. I was like, "Damn, right in public like that,
Yeah, I mean, most people don't even know who he was.
Yeah. But that's the point.
Or whatever.
That's the point. And they're saying his career's done, but
good.
We'll see. He's more famous now than yesterday.
Yeah, which leads to Stone, Roger Stone.
Mm-hmm.
What did he? It's something like, as long as they're talking about me, it's good news.
Yeah.
Even if I'm going to prison. And so the judge just put a gag order on him. So I started watching the Netflix about Roger Stone and who he is. Because I always knew he was a scumbag, but I didn't really know who he was. But he was the one that started all the PACs, all the political action campaign, all that lobbying money. That's him. He was the one that started it back in the Reagan era. And I remember studying it when I was in high school. Whether PACs should be legal or not, contributions from corporations versus personal funds, and the limitations on it. And he totally opened it. And he said, hey, there's a fine line between politicians and comedians. We're just a showman, making one-liners and jokes. And then they showed all these clips of Reagan saying, make America great again. Ronald Reagan was saying that. He was his campaign guy. He totally made Donald Trump into these one-liners and these bits. And it's amazing how much power he had over the whole freaking thing. And now he's got a gag order. He's going to go to prison. That's going to be interesting.
You want to be president? You go through him.
Well, it's kind of like the going back to this guy. What's his name?
Fam.
No, Fam. His name's Fam.
That's what he said.
That was his nickname.
Charming, nice guy, really good looking. Everything's going, but you're a fucking criminal.
Yeah.
And Roger Stone is no different. In fact, I think. Well, I can't compare rape to extortion. So I won't.
Speaking of fam, Robert Kraft got busted getting a hand job for $59.
Oh, he's the New England Patriots. That's the sports.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were
you're jumping the gun.
still on national.
We got 3 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sports, but...
No, but the Mueller report's supposed to come out this week. And it's really funny. I was watching a report and somebody's like, Who gives a damn about the report? We know that they did this, and everybody's numb to it. Who gives a damn about the report? This is bullshit. And I totally agree with that. It's like we've been so numb to the political corruption that it just becomes mainstream.
You know what's gonna be crazy is that Trump is gonna be campaigning for a run again.
Oh God, against who?
While trying to also run the country.
That's what I should have put on the World Report, but I didn't. The Democrat people going against him, and of all these fucking cocksuckers that are going up against him, the only one I really like is Anthony Yang, something Yang.
Sounds kind of
Asian dude.
Yeah, definitely with a name like Yang.
I don't know. He ain't twins with two black dudes.
Well, his big platform is giving everybody $1,000 a month. I like it.
all right. I'm already on board too.
Yeah.
Go Yang.
Go,
It's
yeah.
like a stimulus package every month.
Yes, and the I remember having a friend in college. I had a friend in college. I'll think of his name in a minute. Dick something. His name was Dick, and he lived in Alaska, and he would get $500 every month in the mail. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this? He's like, I'm from Alaska. We get oil dividends. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, every resident in Alaska gets. That was 36 years ago, and they still get it.
Huh.
Every one of them, and it's a Republican state, and they all agree on it. And what Yang is proposing is like, well, technology is the new oil. So if you're going to be making $1 billion with Amazon, $1 billion with Google, and $1 billion with YouTube, and all this other stuff, give us a cutback. We're the ones putting into it, so give us a cutback. We're the ones buying the oil, driving the cars. Give us a cutback, and that's what he's proposing. And but I think the thing I would really like to know more about is are people not going to be able to have EBT anymore or SNAP?
Yeah, food
TANF
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So is this going to replace all the other social services? Probably, and I hope so, because then you'd be more fiscally responsible for yourself. You wouldn't just be going to the store willy-nilly buying all sorts of stupid shit.
Yeah, it would be a great replacement, but it might be just a bottom tier thing where it kind of just eliminates the market for that,
Yeah.
And there's less people that rely on that, and then there's the $1,000 a month where you actually probably have to be contributing more to society somehow.
Well, this interesting thing to me psychologically, which he brings up quite a bit, is that people aren't working as much, and they won't be working as much. The big technology that's going to be replaced in the next 10 years is what he's saying is the trucking industry. And I didn't even think about it. And actually, I did back in college. This hippie guy, I got a bag of Fritos, and I was like, "Hey, you want a bag?" And he's like, "Dude, no." I was like, "What?" He's like, "It's wrapped in plastic." I was like, "Oh, come on." He's like, "Not just wrapped in plastic, but it came from Texas. It took this truck to drive it from a plant in Texas to me to eat a 50-cent bag of chips and throw it away." I mean, so there's this huge industry involved in transportation of our goods. And if it goes, and so this is the number one employer in all states. I didn't know that either. The biggest employer of all people in all states without much of an education, if any, you're just a hard fucking worker, is going to be replaced by computer drivers. I mean, seriously, they're having centers where between the transition from drivers to autonomous car or trucks, or even robots, because they can send them out in mass, just smaller ones, like the size of this table. They can just send like a pallet. That's not going to hurt anybody if it hits them, But they could definitely have all the sensors and shit on it.
Mm-hmm.
So in between there's going to be warehouses of these like truck actually driving things, and they're like wireless, but they're driving these trucks. It's crazy.
They're already testing some stuff out like that on a smaller scale, in like California with Domino's. They have automatic
Right.
cars. They still have to have a driver, a person in there,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not doing shit, but just making sure nothing fucks up.
Right. Yeah, the transition's near, and that's what Yang's talking about. And he's saying even already the psychological part of it is, what are these men going to do? there are already a lot of people that don't know what they want to do with their lives, and they end up playing video games, getting stoned all day long, and they don't know what to do.
And we talked about that before because I was for something like that, monthly income. And my thing was that if that's what you wanted to do was just stay home and play video games all day, then that's fine. Do that. But if you do that and you like stream yourself and you actually market yourself and you make a living from doing that and you make money doing that, then you lose that income, that monthly income.
Well, I think if you do that, if you just want to stay home and play video games, get stoned, and you get $1,000 every month, there's a really big potential of somebody saying, okay, I'm going to just do this for 5 months and then I'm going to have $5,000. Then I can buy this. Then I can get that. Then I can enter this, or I can open this. You know, then you have much more potential to get out of your basement.
Yeah, follow your imagination.
Do whatever you want.
find interest in, and not have financial reasons.
So I
hold you back.
I really am intrigued by this idea that you could reshape the psychology of people, sociology of a mass generation of people going, what the fuck am I going to do? Because I think that's the true question. The big answer, and he touched on it too, about this education for all, and that's going to make ourselves better, is that we just get smarter. And he's like, that's not the truth. The smarter is that we're being able to produce more without much work. That's smarter. So what are we going to do? So he says, yeah, you open a bakery, and now all of a sudden you've got local people shopping locally instead of Amazon. You open this, now you open that, and people are in their own community. You can start doing a tutoring service, or you can start doing all these local businesses because you finally have the capital to be able to do it without a risk. And then people would have the money to buy into it. I think it's an interesting idea. Much more than the fucking Green Party and Bernie Sanders at 77 fucking bullshit.
Yep.
All right, I'm off my high horse.
All right, what's next?
You guys came over at 11 o'clock yesterday morning to watch the fights.
Oh yeah, the fights. Yeah, those were interesting. Some good fights. UFC and then Bellator afterwards.
I didn't watch the Bellator shit.
It was all right. It's funny to me how much it's like wrestling, but with fighting. Like the way that they come out. They come out on a little stage and they just stand there, or they dance, and then they get all serious and come down. The UFC is doing it absolutely way better with them just running out,
I disagree. I like the freaking...
I know.
You probably like the fucking football dances at the end of the touchdowns.
But I get it too.
I think it's freaking, like, more of a spectacle, because UFC used to do it too. Southern Pride used to do it, I don't know.
It just seems cheesy to me, that's all. It's weird. It's like, oh, am I watching WWE right now? But they're actually gonna punch each other.
I do feel like it does add like some fucking skepticism to it, to like, all right, this shit rigged, what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You come out, raise your eyebrow like The Rock, and
exactly. And you're just like pelvic thrusting out there.
Yeah. Well, Don King made it that way with boxing, so everything became skeptical, and then, which fights were fixed and how was the betting working. And so yeah, I'd rather just see them go out there and punch each other instead of fucking dancing around and doing that bullshit. Even like the pre-fight stuff when they're standing next to each other at the weigh-in, they have the big conference and they're all like they're ready to kiss and stuff. And in fact, I think they have kissed a couple of guys, haven't they? It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
So this Saturday there's big UFC going on.
You gonna fuck or fight?
Big UFC this Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. One UFC party.
What time's that at?
7. Prelims at 5, but main card's at 7.
All right.
And also, there's rumors that Russell Wilson's going to leave Seattle next year. This could be his last year.
Thank God.
And the reason why is because...
He plays like a pussy?
Nope. Because Sierra
wants to go back to Atlanta.
Wants to live in New York.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he might go to the Giants and replace Eli Manning. And it makes sense because as a career move, if you're looking long term, he wants to own a football team one day, and Sierra probably wants to have a fucking career in New York. In the pussy of the power of the pussy
will lead you.
What
kind of job does she want?
Who knows?
She wants to be a waitress.
No, probably a model art thing.
She's gonna be a fashion designer.
She's gonna be Russell Wilson's wife.
Fashion designer.
Yeah, fashion designer.
She's gonna stick around just long enough to freaking divorce him and take
But
half his fucking money.
It's
hope
crazy. It's crazy how she can have an influence over his deciding on where to go and what team to play
Oh,
for.
that never happens with a wife.
You know?
But it makes sense. You know, if I was in that situation, I'd
2 words, Joe.
talk to my wife about it.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
All right, speaking of blowjobs.
Yeah, Robert Kraft got a hand job
Hand job.
for $59 from an Asian parlor in Florida.
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that story, I was like, so? Like, fucking.
I mean, it is just misdemeanor charges, you know.
Deflate his balls.
But I guess when you have a wife, when you have a wife and you're a public figure, I guess it's frowned upon to get a hand job. But you know,
I don't know. All right. Here we go again. You can't make anything illegal.
what if he goes to Vegas and does it? Is it still bad?
Yeah,
Good
right.
question. See? You can't make anything illegal. And I think for the protection of extortion, corruption, and bad things that people do to bad people or other people, it should be legal. It should be open.
Ashton Kutcher says that a man should never pay for sex.
Fuck Ashton Kutcher. I'm like, fuck yeah, who the fuck is he? It's like equivalent to fucking Ja Rule.
Who is he?
He's an actor.
He was banging Demi Moore, though.
Nice.
He was.
Yeah.
He's banging Mila Kunis now.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I
Enough of
say
that.
if freaking they want to hand over their money and the people want to fucking render their service, fucking have at it. Do your fucking thing. It's not my goddamn business.
Yeah.
Well, same with cocaine and heroin. I mean, that brings up the question of these safe houses and stuff. So if you're going to do it for that, why wouldn't you do it for this? You know? You're going to have legal heroin in site areas, then why don't you have legal prostitution site areas?
Yeah,
Then
'cause
you
there's
can
a lot
check
of-
out all the girls, make sure they're safe, and make sure they're not being pimped. And
There's a lot of people that are advocates for people making money off sex, isn't there?
I just think it's one of these social taboos that people just can't wrap their heads around right now. For example, marijuana back in the war on drugs was such a huge thing that you were totally a devil if you were caught with a bag of weed. And now it's just like commonplace, and because we decriminalized it and then we made it legal, and then the taboo's gone. Now you got Mitch McConnell of all people saying, yeah, let's legalize it for hemp. It's like, wait a minute, old man, you were putting people in prison a few years ago. So I think that the social morphing is going to take some time, but eventually there will be safe houses for all drugs, all prostitution, all bad things, just to get the crime out of it. I'm talking like 50 years though.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take that long.
So I'll be Robert Kraft enjoying some legal hand jobs.
Yeah, you got to go to Vietnam for that shit. Happy ending. All right, so what do we got coming up this week? You said there's the comedy competition on Thursday.
Yep, Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Round week 2 of the open mic comedy competition. Hopefully we get some sign-ups.
Oh, man, I'm sure.
And a good turnout again.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. Get some different judges this time. And
maybe I'll throw my name in the hat.
there you go. And what else we got going on? The
Anything Friday? It's first Friday, right?
First Friday Art Walk. That's right. Open mic comedy at Dog Days, 7 p.m. So that'd be fun. Be cool if you played some music one night.
Yep. Get Aaron too.
Yeah.
Aaron McFadden.
And remember, if you are looking to buy some marijuana legally, Pacific Cannabis Company is the place to go.
Can you say that? Can you say that?
Yeah,
let us
I can say that. Yeah. You can say that for sure.
Can we get our podcast man?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to not have the 3 visitors that we usually do.
Yeah, no shit.
All right. I think, we're right on spot. All right.
right.
Have a good week. That was perfect. That's funny.
And it was right on.